All right. And we're live. Good evening everyone. Good evening Pilipinas. Pero syempre, magandang umaga din naman sa ibang panig ng mundo dahil meron din tayong mga viewers sa ibang bahagi ng Pilipinas, ay ng mundo. So, check talaga ako ng world clock, no? Para sure ako. So, sa Manila, it's good evening. Good evening, mga kababayan. And of course, somewhere in London, hapon doon, 3 p.m. Los Angeles and San Francisco, 7 a.m. Magandang umaga sa Good morning, America. Wow. And we also have our friends in New York. So, 10 a.m. sa kanila doon. So, good morning sa inyo dyan. Gusto niyo may Bangkok din ako? Siyempre, yung mga BL Loves ko nandun. So 9 p.m. doon. Good evening sa mga, ay yes, good evening sa mga kababayan natin doon. And sa Dubai, yes, sa Middle East, 6 p.m. So baka tapos na ang work, no, ng mga kababayan natin doon. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. And sa Toronto, sa Canada, it's 10 a.m. also there. So magandang gabi at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Welcome to PetsaDePeligro. Okay, this is the newest online show, okay, of Hiraya Media in partnership with Story Slayers. Okay, so siguro quickly introduce ko lang ang Hiraya Media, no, sa mga hindi pa familiar. Baka yung mga nanonood ngayon medyo familiar na rin kasi syempre you are following our Facebook account if you're watching on Facebook. Kung may nanonood sa YouTube, hi, hello. Merong isang nag-comment, I think from YouTube, si Archie Bautista. Good morning, Archie. Hello. And sige, comment ka lang dyan and let us know kung saang territory ka, kung nasa Philippines ka ba o nasa ibang bansa ka. Hello sa'yo. Thank you for watching and thank you for being our first person to comment no sa aming YouTube page, YouTube account, YouTube channel. Yan. So we are Hiraya Media and our small company, our startup company, it's a digital media company that aims to challenge and amplify the Filipino narrative sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo at hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas kasi kami po ay binubuo ng iba't ibang mga young professionals and young creatives from different parts of the world na Pinoy na nagsama-sama para uh, ma-share namin at mahanap namin ng iba't ibang kwento ng mga Pilipino, particularly ng mga Filipino youth at maibahagi natin sa lahat, okay? So, ayan, hello to our managing editor, Danny Nakpil. Yan, hello, hi Danny. And of course, sa aking nang Jumar na ever supportive, watching from the City of the Stars, Quezon City, oh, bakit hindi? Hello naman, kamusta naman mga taga QC? And of course, my sisters watching. Hi ate, and go Tito, Uno po at he's my pamangkin. Hi Uno, Tito is doing live. Wow, English. Okay, kasi ano siya kaka-Peppa Pig niya ata, British na yung accent niya Ayan, yes, hello. So go lang, comment lang kayo ng comment. By the way, I haven't introduced myself yet. I am Jancy E. Nicolas. I am the editor-in-chief of Hiraya Media. And I am also going to host this newest online show of Hiraya Media, PetsaDePeligro. And mamaya lang, we will talk about the show further, what inspired it, and ano yung i-expect nyo sa mga susunod na episodes ng Petsa de Peligro. Okay, so I hope that you share this live stream sa ating mga viewers, sa ating 13,000 viewers, sabi. Sa YouTube at Facebook combined. Please share this live stream now sa mga friends nyo, sa mga group chat nyo, go, 'di ba? Magsama-sama tayong magchikahan ngayong gabi at ngayong umaga kung saang parte man kayo ng mundo. Okay. So ayan, check muna natin ang mga ano. Ito si Ali. Hi Ali, our CEO and founder. Si Ali. Hi Ali. Ikaw ba yan, Ali? Ba't parang iba yung ano mo, apelido? Pero I think ikaw yan. That's your profile picture sa Twitter tsaka sa Instagram. I don't know. I didn't know na may Facebook ka pala. So let's do this. Yes, si Ali po ay currently ang aming CEO and founder sa Hiraya Media ay currently ay nasa San Francisco. Okay. Yan. And sana mamaya jumoin na rin sa atin si Chan Riasonda, our COO and co-founder. Nasa Los Angeles naman siya. Okay. Ayan. All right. Okay. Sige. So as I was saying, i-share ko sa inyo yung naging inspiration behind PetsaDePeligro. Actually, today, ang first episode ng PetsaDePeligro, but we are not actually, hindi na actually PetsaDePeligro, na-realize ko lang kanina, no? We're, sweldo day to day. Dito sa Pilipinas, kasi 13th, Friday the 13th today, but since natapat ang 15 ng weekend, ng Sunday, ay advance. So, hindi na po pala kayo namemeligro. So, bakit po natin ginagawa tong show na to? Thank you so much for watching. Tsare, inend. Hindi. Ayun. Petsa de peligro, as we all know, is a term we use kapag yun nga, mga 2 days, 3 days na instant noodles na lang ang kinakain natin or canned goods, 'di ba? Lakas maka-feeding program po ng meal plan mo na, 'di ba? Hindi na bonggang-bonggang, hindi ka makapag-samgyupsal. Well, hindi naman tayo makapag-samgyupsal at buffet ngayon, no, dahil nga may pandemya at nakakulong tayo sa mga bahay natin. Pero 'di ba, pre-pandemic, ito yung mga panahon na Diyos ko, ini-skyflakes mo na lang ang ang sikmura mo para maka-survive. Kasi bukod sa ang dami mo din namang bills na binayaran, ang dami mo din naman kasing in-add to cart, magkaaminan, 'di ba? So, ngayon, I'm sure, sweldo day, pero nako, i-comment nyo kung nasimot na po ba ang debit card ninyo, mga mare, mga alipin. Nasimot na po ba? Ubus na po ba dahil sa bills? Ubus na rin po ba dahil sa mga add to cart things na deserve natin. Di ba yun yung favorite nating term? Deserve ko to, i-add to cart ko to. Lagi na lang natin deserve, no? Ayan. So, simot ang debit card. Ayan. So, Petsa de Peligro, though, our show, it aims to gather young professionals from different parts of the world in this, I would like to call it this mini digital campfire. Gusto na yung magsimula ng isang digital campfire dito sa Hiraya Media para pag-usapan natin ang iba't ibang mga issues natin as young professionals. And hindi lang po tungkol sa pera at sahod. Alam niyo naman, ang dami nating isyong mga young professionals, di ba? Di yan mauubos. Sa group chat, hindi na po natapos ang ating pagrarant. Aminin nyo, dami yung rant sa mga group chat nyo. Minumura nyo yung mga boss nyong hindi masyadong masayang katrabaho or binabash nyo sila or ang dami nating reklamo sa mga injustice sa labor system sa Pilipinas o sa ibang bansa, 'di ba? Ang dami nating problema, ang hirap maging adult. 'Di ba? Walang nagsabi ng totoo kung na mahirap pala maging adult kasi nung bata tayo, 'di ba? Para it seems that the adults have it figured out, but when we're here, hindi. We're figuring out everything day by day, especially this pandemic. At magsama-sama tayo dito sa Petsa de Peligro, magsama-sama tayo mag-rant ng live. Kung gusto nyong i-bash ng live yung boss nyo, go, be my guest. Basta magpapakita ka ng face, ha? Pag nag-guest ka dito, ha? And actually, we are also inviting our viewers na kung may mga gusto kayong topics or may mga gusto kayong i-Dear Jancy, dito or Dear Petsa de Peligro, ito ang problema ko sa trabaho. Feel free po na mag-email sa amin. Siguro si Paolo, our production assistant and intern backstage, baka alamin natin, no, kung ano ang email, kung saan nila pwedeng i-send. Di ba, we have a content email sa Hiraya Media para i-flash natin later sa mga gustong mag-email at magsumbong. Gawin po natin itong sumbungan ng bayan, sumbungan ng yapis. Okay. Pero hindi lang po tayo magra-rant, okay? Hindi lang po tayo magra-rant. We are gonna make this rant session productive. Ano yon? May flinash. So, dyan po ba? Okay, so you will just go to our website, www.hirayamedia.com/PDP Dropbox. Ang taray. Merong digital Dropbox. Dati kasi 'di ba mga yan, Dropbox na literal tapos lalakipan mo ng gamit na sachet ng Tide. Charing. Ito, ayan, pupunta lang po kayo sa website namin at ayan, dyan po kayo mag-share ng mga topics na gusto nyong i-discuss natin dito sa Petsa de Peligro, okay? So, yan, magsumbong na po kayo dito sa aming show, mga alipin. Ayan. Okay. Thank you so much, Paolo, for that. Now, sige, magbasa muna tayo quickly ng ating mga comments dito, no? Ng mga Ayan, so Nang Patch. Hi, Nang Patch. Thank you for watching ang aming viral Brightwin Ninang. So, follow nyo po ang BW Ninang sa Twitter kung gusto nyo pong makita ang kanyang latest performance para sa Brightwin Ninang's live anniversary. Tribute niya po kay Miss Regine Velasquez Alcacid. Bonggang-bongga. Thank you, Nang Patch. Okay, meron tayong watching from Korea, Badette. Nako, eto, meron tayong viewer from Korea. Badette, siguro she's our guest later. So, introduce ko na lang mamaya. So, baka she's there to support one of our guests tonight. Ayan, so si Danny, yes, feeding program. Alam mo na, mga instant noodles things na kinakain natin. Pero baka malamang ngayon, hindi. Baka nakapagpa-grab food kayo ngayon ng bonggang-bonggang pagkain, pa-pizza, no? Kasi sweldo na. O yung pinsan ko din nanonood, hi Eka. Nako, igigess kita Eka dito sa PetsaDePeligro. Eka is a Pro-Life UK unit manager. Marami siyang maituturo sa atin about kung paano natin na-handle ang mga finances natin. Ayan. So si Archie sabi niya, nung Monday pa po nagastos. Oh. Bakit? Ano bang petsa nung Monday? Kasi minsan ang sweldo din ay 25th and tama ba? 10th of the month. Iba-iba yan eh. So baka gano'n, mas advance yung kay Archie. Ay naku, mas tragic yung kay Danny, wala pang sweldo. Naku, bakit wala pang pumapasok? Ayan, sabi ng ate ko, naubos na sa diapers. Oh, isa din sa mga i-discuss natin dito sa Petsa de Peligro, ang mga working moms, ang mga entrepreneur moms. Abangan niyo yan. Magkakaroon tayo ng ganyang episode. Okay, eto si Ria. Hi, Ria. From Facebook, nagbayad na nung COD nung 8/8 sale. Naku, naku Mare, magkano ba ang nai-check out natin? Ayun, pagkasabi mo ng alipin, sabi ng Jumer, pag sabi mo ng alipin, naluha ako, may kurot. Masyado bang totoo? O mamili ka kung aliping sa gigilid o aliping namamahay. Naalala nyo ba yon sa Hekasi at Sibika at Kultura? Ayan. So, ayan. Okay. I think, no? Again, wait lang. Bago natin i-introduce ang ating topic for tonight, please, please, please share this live stream. Okay? Sa inyong mga social media accounts. And siguro quickly, we are going to flash lang, no? Please, please do follow us on our social media accounts. So, si Hiraya Media po ay nasa Facebook. Yan, si at Media Hiraya. And we are also on Twitter, Hiraya_media, and Instagram, yun din, Hiraya_media. And our website is www.hirayamedia.com. Visit our website and our social media accounts. Dahil nandyan po, meron na po kaming, nung January pa lang, marami na po kaming na-publish na articles on our website about sa COVID-19. Later, we are going to plug an article about the work from home setup, the corporate system, at kung paano siya naapektuhan nitong pandemya. We also have other stories about yuppies struggling creatively. And meron kami mga stories dun sa website about sa utang na loob culture na nararanasan ng ating mga friends, mga kababayan na overseas Filipinos. Maraming interesting stories doon. We are also on Spotify, by the way. We have our Spotify podcast, Hiraya Talks. Doon, we also further discuss yung mga stories na pinapublish namin sa website. Meron din kami mga stories pala recently ng mga mothers na nagsulat ng essays nila and experiences nila ng motherhood during the pandemic. That is a very beautiful piece dun sa aming website. A mom shared her story from London, when she gave birth. Filipina siya, gave birth, and she's hindi London, Manchester, sa United Kingdom. Meron din isa na from Dubai, Middle East. And we also have a mother shared her story sa umuwi siya dito sa Pilipinas pero yung husband niya ay nasa Myanmar, and kung paano sila naapektuhan, paano sila na-separate during her pregnancy nang nangyayari sa Myanmar right now. So, ayan. Maraming mga kwento dyan. So, please visit our website. At saka dyan nyo po makikita sa mga social media accounts. We will always update you. Baka magkaroon ng online show soon sa Kumu and Facebook and YouTube ang ating ang Hiraya Media and mga stories na ipapublish. Just check them out on those platforms. Yan. Okay, by the way, alam ko po in-announce namin na we're also streaming on Kumu. Coming soon po 'yon ha. We're streaming soon on Kumu, just to clarify. For now, we're going to stream PetsaDePeligro on Facebook and YouTube. So, abangan niyo na lang kami sa Kumu. May mga ina-arrange lang tayong mga bagay-bagay. Okay. So, ayan na mga Mars. Mga alipin. Ang topic natin sa first episode ng PetsaDePeligro ay, naalala niyo ba yung viral tweet tungkol sa ng isang recruiter na parang share siya na merong isang graduate from a university, from a famous university here in the Philippines. May isang fresh graduate na parang the recruiter finds it parang too much yung asking nung bagets, no? So we are going to discuss that tweet and more. Kasi for me, maraming mga dimensions at may mga sides yung kwento na yun na masarap pag-usapan, okay? So generally, yun na magiging jump off point ng ating kwentuhan. Pero, in general, we are going to talk about sahod in general, di ba? Parang wala namang ibang way, better way to, launch our show right now, PetsaDePeligro, literally. But to talk about sweldo, sahod. Ayan. So pag-uusapan natin yan later. Can we flash the tweet? That tweet, nandito ba siya? Ayan. Thank you, Paolo. Okay, so ito siya. So ito ang kanyang tweet. Naalala nyo ba, mga Mars, mga Twitter crowd, Alipins? I just made a job offer to an Ateneo fresh grad. Ayan, may name drop pa yung school. Kakaloka. And I was shocked that she declined at 37K starting salary. Wag kang mag-alala, Mars, na shocked din naman ako sa 37K. The role is for an entry-level marketing associate. I asked for her reason and she said that she expects at least 60K because of her educational background. I'm speechless, all caps. Okay. So, meron pa isa, di ba? This was my budget for the position. I just offered it to another candidate, a very bright marketing management major from USTO. Nag-name drop na naman siya ng school and she happily accepted. Well done, Tomasian. O, taray. Hula, ewan ko Tomasino ba to si recruiter? Or if not, baka natuwa lang siya dun sa bago niyang hinire. Pero based on the information or in the initial research that we did, hindi lang siya basta HR ng isang company, or I don't know, mamaya tanongin natin sa ating mga guest parang HR officer siya and at the same time recruiter. I don't know if hiwalay pa yon or pwede mo siyang emerge in one person. Pero ang dating is, hindi naman si Bagets ata ang nag-apply. Okay? But na-recruit, 'di ba? Parang may recruiter na in-invite siya, nagkaroon ng invitation to apply for this position. And yun yung naging asking ni fresh grad from Areneo. Okay. So, yan. So, yan po ang ating i-discuss tonight. At meron po tayong mga subject matter experts na diniscuss para matulungan tayo sa issue na ito. Okay? Wait. Quick shout out lang sa aking ng Grace na mahal ko. Hi ng Grace, thank you for watching. Magandang gabi. Ayan. Okay. So, mga Mars, kaya ako din, nung nagbe-brainstorm kami for our first episode for PetsaDePeligro, ang sinabi ko talaga, parang I would want this to be the first episode. Kasi, nung lumabas yung tweet na yan, dumaan lang siya sa ko, hindi kasi ako din masyadong mahilig mag-Twitter kasi magulo dun eh. Pero, I came across it, pero hindi ko siya binasa talaga. And then, yun nga, nung nag-research na kami before producing this first episode, yun, binasa ko yung tweet. And then we asked around about it, more information about it. And more than that tweet, ako, of course, I would have opinions about it personally. 'Di ba? Kasi parang ako, naloka din naman ako, ay 37K, edi ikaw na, 'di ba? Kasi naalala ko yung first salary ko, naiyak ako eh. Na parang, kumpara dun sa hinihingi niya. Pero at the same time, I went to Facebook and sa Facebook friends ko, naglipa na sa newsfeed ko ang iba't ibang reaksyon ng taong bayan tungkol dun sa tweet na yon. May mga, ano bang henerasyon to mga to? Sa mga age bracket ng mga Facebook friends ko, mga Gen Xers sila. Di ba ang Gen X parang older than millennials, but parang almost boomers but not quite. Tama ba? Basta medyo a little bit older than the millennials. And then, itong mga Gen Xers, siguro mga nasa 30s na to, late 30s to almost 40s, ganyan. Sabi nila, naglitanya na ang taong bayan ng kanilang mga issue na nung nagsisimula ako ganito. Tapos ikaw ganyan. So parang medyo na-bash si Kid. Well, hindi anonymous naman si Bagets, pero 'di ba medyo nagkaroon ng strong opinions about it. Yung mga tao na sinasabi nila na, "Oh, kami nung nagsisimula kami, ganito ang sahod namin. Kami parang wag ka masyadong entitled, 'di ba? Masyadong entitled na mga kabataan ngayon. Alam niyo naman ang favorite nilang word laban sa ating mga kabataan, entitled. Naku, marami akong opinion about dyan later. Oh my God! Wait lang cut ko lang. Nakakatuwa lang, may high school teacher, isa sa mga paboritong high school teacher sa Filipino, in particular ang kanyang subject, si Miss Figueras. Hi, Miss! Thank you for watching. Good evening po. Ayan. So, ayun nga, going back. So, ang daming opinion na parang kami, ganito kami, nung nagsimula kami, ito yung aming sahod, ganyan-ganyan. Medyo na-disappoint ako kasi parang wait lang. Alam ko naman na medyo parang mapapaganon tayo dun sa tweet nung Bagets or dun sa asking nung Bagets. But at the same time, hindi ko masyado nagustuhan yung mga post na yun ng mga Gen Xers pataas nga. Kasi parang, huy, wait lang, can we talk about this issue, about sahod and asking in a more objective way? And ano nga ba talaga yung makatarungang asking at sahod? Kasi if you're going to just talk about back in the day anecdotes, we also have to question ourselves, back in the day, tama nga ba na yun ang mga pinasahod sa inyo? 'Di ba? I get that it's that we are also, valuing valuing hard work, Ako personally, I believe in work ethic, of course. Across all generations, importante 'yun. I became a supervisor myself. And na-witness ko naman ng mga hardworking na mga fresh grads at millennials. Pero naka-witness din naman ako ng right before me, an entitled millennial, I must say. Pero again, let's not have that conversation that it's all about entitlement and it's all about those judgments about younger generations. Pag-usapan talaga natin ngayon, ano nga ba talaga ang makatarungang sahod at asking? 'Di ba? Paano nga ba hingin? 'Di ba? Bukod sa isang fresh grad, may mga viewers tayo ngayon na malamang ay hindi na fresh grad, pero baka mapag-usapan natin paano ba humingi ng raise din? Paano nga ba humingi ng or parang hingi ng isang bagay, whether financially or working condition na deserve mo as an employee to your employer, 'di ba? Pag-usapan natin 'yan mamaya. Okay, so bago ko i-introduce ang ating mga guests, merong mga apektado na pong mga viewers natin dito na parang may mga bubog na pong naihit. Ayan. Usapang first sweldo sis, paano ba to? Ayan, naiiyak na sila. Ayan, Sinang Patch. Sinang Patch is from Areneo, ha? Cum laude ka ng Patch, di ba? Graduate from Areneo. 8K a month lang sweldo ko noon. Paano ako nabuhay? Naku. Ako naalala ko noon, sweldo ko noon. Parang mga nasa ganyan. Mamaya share ko sa inyo, actually, yung share ko actually ang pinakamababang payslip na natanggap ko nung ako'y nagsisimula pa lamang. Pero parang, mga 8K, 12K, ganyan ang mga laro nung baguhan eh. Ayan. Ayan, pero nang Jumar, mayaman ka na daw ngayon. I'm sure. Agree talaga ako. Ayan. So, ready na ba kayo? Ready na ba kayo sa ating i-introduce ko na po ang ating mga guests tonight. Okay? So, wait ha, hanapin natin ang ating notes. Okay. So, our first guest, to help us out sa subject matter na to is, ang industry niya is a BPO off-sharing company for almost 6 years ang kanyang experience. Okay? Off-sharing, I think ito yung mga outsourcing companies, ganyan. And then, ang current job niya, she started as an HR employee relations specialist and now she's an HR business partner. Okay, she is Crystal Corrales. Ayan, so i-welcome natin si Miss Crystal sa show. Add na natin siya. Hello,
Hello.
Miss Crystal!
Evening. Yeah, hello. Just call
Good
me Tata.
evening. Ay, hello,
Okay.
Tala. Oh my God,
Yes.
sinaraji mo kami. Tala.
Yeah. Hindi
malapit,
ako
malapit na nating sayawin ng Tala kasi magbe-bare months na ay ang mga Christmas
oo nga.
parties. Okay.
Mm.
Kala mo naman makapag-Christmas party tayo soon, no, sa estado ng
Oo.
pandemya. Hello, so,
Yes.
hello, Tala. Welcome to our show. Welcome to
Thank
PetsaDePeligro.
you. Yeah, thank you for inviting me as well.
Okay, sige. Our next guest na makakasama ni Tala ay ito. She's her industry naman is educational institution. So nasa academe itong si next guest natin, no? And her current job is an HR generalist for 4 years. Ang tari no HR generalist. HR generalist for 4 years but 7 years as HR practitioner. Okay, so mga experts talaga to pagdating sa topic natin. Maraming masasabi ito. Let's all welcome in PetsaDePeligro, Badette Manalo. Okay. Hi,
Hi, good
Badette.
evening. Hi, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. Welcome to
Hello,
our
yan.
show. Ayan. Okay, wait quick shout out lang. Ang aking mommy, stage mother, aba, nanonood. Ayan. Ako, my mom, when I started, naku, ang tagal na nung martial law days pa to, mami, di ba? When I started, nasa 2K plus, pero that was 30 plus years ago na nga, oh. Yung 2K ba, malaki na yun noon? O, alamin natin mamaya. Ayan, so meron tayong mga boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zs na nanonood right now, no? So, tutulungan tayo ni Tala at ni Badette, no, na alamin at pag-usapan tong issue na to. Okay. So, first question ko siguro, familiar ba kayong dalawa dun sa tweet na yun?
Yes.
Viral. It's
Familiar.
everywhere.
Actually, naging
So,
point of
napag-usapan siya
discussion.
sa circle nyo?
Yes. Yes,
Oo.
napag-usapan
Yes.
siya.
Okay. Sige. O, sa tanongin ko kayo isa-isa. Ikaw muna, Tala. Ano ang initial thoughts mo about dun sa tweet na yun?
Actually, when I read that tweet, the first thing that comes to my mind talaga is, wow, ang galing ni ate. She's really brave. She knows her worth.
Si fresh grad.
Yes, fresh grad. I mean, she knows her worth. Kasi back then, when nung iniisip ko din siya, nung ako naman yung fresh grad, I wasn't really given the chance to bargain or to give my side na, ay, kasi nga, like you guys, I also started in a very small, sa tingin ko noon, mababa siya, knowing na, I think naman, on our profession, kasi on HR, it's also not the highest paying job, but it should not be also the lowest one, di ba? So yun, amaze ako dun kay Athenian girl on her bravery na mag-decline ng ganong offer. That's my initial thought.
In fairness, actually, ano yan parang bagong insight for me yan kasi, bagong insight siya in a sense that you being an HR practitioner, you found it brave. Eh, di ba?
Yes.
Parang, kumbaga, hindi, yung opinion mo isn't, a judgment. Like, yung mga nabasa ko nga na sinad mo kanina, hindi mo sinad si Bagets. Parang, wow, ang tapang mo, and take that as a compliment, Bagets, di ba? Okay, sige. How about you, Badette? Ano ang naging initial thoughts mo?
Ako, same with Crystal. Yun din yung naging impression ko with that fresh grad. Kasi, yung attitude kasi ng fresh grad, siguro when in my days, hindi talaga ganun ka-brave to ask for a specific salary or even nga mag-bargain. So for that fresh grad na inilatag niya agad na she cannot accept the 37K and she wants the 60K basic salary. So I think very brave yung ginawa niya, taking into consideration lahat nung education background, her internships, and then later on, di ba nalaman na internships abroad pa pala siya. So, lalong mas na-justify on our end na oo, tama yung hinihingi niyang asking salary. And also, yung industry na ina-applyan niya. The 60K is just right for her, even if she is a fresh grad.
May we know? Kasi baka hindi alam ng viewers natin na ano ang sa based sa circles nyo, so napag-alaman nyo, ano yung industry ba ni Bagets na ina-applyan?
She works for a marketing firm. Yan, for sure. Mga advertising yan.
Yes, oo.
Marketing advertising. So, yeah, I know, I remember ngayon, so nung na-hire na niya si Tomasino, sabi niya na, marketing eme yung ano. Okay, sige. Pero, meron akong tanong din naman, hindi na tungkol kay Bagets, sa inyo. Naku, malaking question to. Kasi una sa lahat, ang naging opinion ko is, tama bang nag-tweet si girl? Si recruiter, si HR? I mean, of course, okay, sige. It's our personal social media accounts. Okay, ako, ang personal stand ko, kung anong gusto mo kung i-tweet i-post sa Facebook ko, personal to, okay? So, I'm just gonna be responsible for it. Pero personal to, hindi ako pwedeng pakialaman ng trabaho. But, somehow, meron akong, to be honest, discomfort. Kasi parang medyo, ang dami mong in-spill din kasing details. You mentioned the school. Ako kasi parang, maybe it would, if you really want to express your opinion about fresh grads being entitled and stuff, sana gano'n na lang ka-generic yung statement. Di ba? Parang in general, as an HR practitioner, ito yung opinion mo about it. Pero, ethical ba yung ginawa? Tama ba yung mga, tala, Badette? Kayo?
Well, she didn't mention the name. She didn't mention the company. However, on our culture kasi, when we name drop a certain school with certain biases, diba? And her profile is on public, so everyone has the access, diba? Everyone can read it. It can start a discussion, which it happens. Siguro, what I can see kung bakit din nag-tweet si ate recruiter is to release her tension, to release yung frustration niya na why is such a girl, a fresh grad declining at 37? Parang, diba, it maybe it's her way to release it na may ganun palang tao na baka first time niyang naka-encounter. But it should not be. Parang hindi siya maganda. Parang, diba? It will just create. But it's an awakening tweet, diba? We're now starting to have that conversation of is our labor practices enough? Is on how we view the fresh grad, those who are tenured already, and those who are already at the end of their careers. Diba? So it's somehow awakening. Para we have, kasi parang totoo naman valid yung tweet niya. It's really something na nakakagulat nowadays. And also the timing of the tweet is on a pandemic. And who's someone na magde-decline ng 37,000 salary, di ba? On a pandemic, sa kalagitnaan ng pandemya. So baka yun ngayon. Sa mga naisip ko nung binabasa ko yung haba-habang thread sa Facebook din.
Oo. Actually, we'll talk about that later, Tala and Badette. Kasi, di ba, nung initially nag-usap din naman tayo, meron ding layer of, di ba, parang difference nung matapang si Bagets din. When we admire her for that, I think we're unanimous naman in thinking that she did the right thing for herself, di ba? And not just for herself, kasi tinan mo, because of what she did, we're having a conversation right now about it. Pero, meron din siyang layer of privilege. So, tignan natin later paano naman natin matutulungan yung mga bata na hindi naman, I'm assuming medyo nasa upper class si Bagets because Ateneo fresh grad siya. Well, kung unless scholar, pero binanggit nyo may internship abroad eh. So, baka medyo may kaya si Bagets. And so, parang madali kasi yun eh. Madali yun to demand. Kung, di ba, kunwari, okay, sige, if you're not gonna accept my asking, okay lang, I'm just gonna stay at home and my mom and my dad can take care of me anyway, di ba? May ganong factor yon, okay? As opposed to a breadwinner. So let's go back to that later. Pero sige, Badette, ikaw.
Nung nakita ko yung tweet, I actually understand where she's coming from. Siguro it's just a tiring day at work. Gusto niya mag-rant on her social media without the intention of that tweet blowing up. And yung talaga, mag-spark of discussion. But yun nga, at some point kasi, it became too detailed na pwede na ma-identify yung applicant. Especially if hindi lang siya yung HR na nandun sa, nag-handle nung recruitment process nila. So, malalaman ng mga kasama niya sa work or ng buong company that this specific person or applicant is asking for this kind of salary. Syempre, it's sa industry nila, medyo maliit yung circle. So, baka mag-pass around yung name niya. And yun din kasi yung major concerns na naging discussion namin, yung confidentiality of the student. Kasi, yun nga, na-name drop na yung school and then na-name drop na yung, nabigay na yung asking niya. So, baka maka-affect din yun sa mga future applications niya. So, yun
Actually,
yung yeah. And HR industry, it's very
small.
Din siya, yeah. And the marketing and advertising, the marketing and advertising industry itself is hindi naman siya ganon kalaki here in the Philippines. And
Oo.
HR folks
So
goes
baka
around different companies.
oo, okay. So kumbaga, kung kunwari si HR Twitter, ano siya, nag-tweet siya, so malamang may mga friends ba siya that messaged her. We don't know hindi nag-a-assume tayo. Syempre parang, ay, sino yan? Sino yan? So hindi na natin alam kung ano na naging conversation about the kid, kung
I
na-mention
hope
ba
she
sa
didn't do it. Sana hindi niya
o sana
ginawa.
naman hindi. Oo, we're not accusing her of anything. We're assuming things
Yes.
here. Pero sana naman nga hindi, 'di ba? And we're just trying to emphasize here that yun nga, the HR industry is small and the marketing industry is small and parang yung the tweet parang could be detrimental to the career of a fresh graduate. 'Di ba? Whether
Yes.
or not entitled siya, 'di ba? Parang
Yes.
yung bata pa rin naman 'di ba? Parang nakakaawa din. Okay. So, pero i-echo ko lang, si Ali kasi, si Ali, our CEO, she's also parang an HR practitioner sa Silicon Valley, sa San Francisco. And she mentioned na ang personal discomfort niya, naalala ko, sinabi niya was, recruiter, parang ganun, or parang yun nga, the kid was invited to apply. It's not as if yung kid yung lumapit. So another dimension din kasi yun nung conversation eh. Ikaw yung nag-invite dun sa applicant, parang ganun. Or sige, regardless, kung labas na dun sa tweet, pag ikaw ang nag-invite, 'di ba? Assuming na in a different circumstance, ikaw ang nag-invite. 'Di ba may mga ganyan, openings or you're recruiting people. Tapos nagkaroon ng asking na ganun. Do you have actually the right to parang judge the person na ikaw nga yung lumapit?
Yeah, actually.
Meron.
And and actually it's part of the interview. I just recalled it na 'di ba during hiring interview, we asked them about their expected salary. That one is
Mhm.
really a part of the discussion before you really do the job offer. I'm not sure how they process it, but it's part of the initial interview na what's your current salary, and since this is a fresh grad, they were being asked of their expected salary. Diba? So dapat parang siguro
Yes.
dun pa lang nakita na ni recruiter na ay medyo high caliber to. Sa profile pa lang, sa resume pa lang nakita niya na she had internship in Europe ba or US, and if she's part of this certain organization. We also have to consider in marketing, diba? They have their skill sets and trainings, especially they sell things, they advertise things. So baka fully equipped si candidate. So, dapat dun pa lang, on that stage pa lang, nag-meet na sila. Parang, di ba, Badette, on a recruitment,
Yes.
mas, ano ka dyan sa recruitment di ba? Parang, dun pa lang, nagkakaintindihan na kayo in a way. First interview pa lang I recall, tinatanong na agad yan, what's your expected salary?
Yeah. At
Bago
saka,
ka,
diyan pumapasok yung importance ng interview. So, dapat talaga nagiging very detailed yung recruiter on asking the specific question. So, ibabangga na niya dyan lahat yung company standards or lalato niya na lahat ng expectations ng company from this specific applicants, including the salary. Kasi this kind of companies, meron na yung budget for a specific position eh. And an HR recruiter, kailangan mong maghanap ng applicant that will accept that offer. So, bali are torn between your employer and the applicant. So, yung mga recruiters, lagi yan nasa gitna eh. So, yan yung mag-mediate dun sa asking ni applicant and sa kayang i-offer ni company. So, that's why very critical yung interview point kasi pag resume lang, yes, you're very good in paper. Pero what if yung sa interview mo, let's say yan, yung salary, hindi naman nilalagay sa resume eh. So, very critical and very important for an HR recruiter na ilalatag niya lahat during the interviews.
Okay. Yun. And given that, 'di ba, that it's part of, kumbaga it's basic protocol eh. 'Di ba, to
Yes.
ask for the salary, ganyan. So, all the more that we should not be afraid to have that conversation.
Yes.
About money, 'di ba, and about salary, about knowing your worth, ganyan. Sige, well, later on we can talk about other layers niya about, syempre, aminin natin, meron din namang mga tama ba yung tama din naman ba yung hiningi niya or too much. So, kaya mamaya, let's be objective about it. And let's talk about it kung ano ba talaga yung, i-guide natin yung viewers, ano ba talaga yung makatarungan sa hindi makatarungan, ganyan. Pero bago natin puntahan yan, meron din kasing isang layer dito na interesting pag-usapan, yung schools issue. Okay? Schools issue. Wait, ang daming mga opinion dito sa So basahin muna natin quickly ang mga comments sila. Mas concern ko yung POV ng tweet. May accusation kasi siguro kung ang POV ng tweet ay patanong kung ganito na ba ngayon in open and discussion, sana as compared sa may judgment na word. Totoo yan. Totoo naman. Ito naman from Sir Ryan Faura. When I taught in private school back in the province, I was only paid 4,800 a month. I don't think it's wrong though to ask for more than you think you deserve. But not all companies can afford it though.
Yeah, yan.
Okay. Totoo naman. So, eto, si Archie, I think marami kasing nasampal ng how privileged yung bata. That's beside the point of the story. But ganun talaga sa daming umaaray sa ekonomiya at disappointment sa government. So, that's also another, factor, another issue, Kasi binanggit nyo kanina na lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. 'Di ba? Na parang 'di ba siguro kung may isang batang hindi as privileged as the kid, nung nabasa niya siguro yung 37K, baka nga parang sa kanya okay na yun eh. 'Di ba? Parang kakagatin niya yun if ever, 'di ba? Kasi ang hirap humanap ng trabaho ngayon. Okay, so si Ria naman, sometimes it's also with the recruiter how he or she can persuade or negotiate the budgeted salary to the applicant. Uy, ang ganda ng point ni Ria, ha? Kasi isa sa mga Oh, wow, friend nyo pala. Kasi in fairness nga, eye-opener sa akin when you said that the recruiter is actually the middleman between the employer and the potential employee. And kumbaga, ito, napag-usapan natin ito ito yung, hindi uso ang headhunter culture sa Philippines, pero parang in essence, ganun di ba? It's the job of the recruiter or the headhunter na ihana, para kang matchmaker. So, kung hindi mo din naibenta nga naman ang 37K salary dito sa batang to, who I think is, I think naman, given na may internship siya abroad or and Ateneo graduate siya, I think naman, qualified siya for the job, and if the employer really wants the kid, it's actually your job pala, no? Na parang it's, instead of complaining, you should have been able to sell that 37K salary na budget mo, sabi mo nga, dun sa bata, di ba? Dapat napa-oo mo siya. O, in fairness, may natutunan tayong bago. Okay, so, balikan natin, schools issue. Personally, well, ako, I did not come from the big four, so to speak, universities. It's Ateneo, LaSalle, UST, and the University of the Philippines. Okay, and I came from Colegio de San Juan de Letran. I am a proud Letrianite, and pero at the same time, alam ko din na nung fresh grad ako, I needed to go the extra mile. Work not just as hard, but more dun sa mga kasabayan mo. Kasi nga, may kailangan kang patunayan. Yet, nung pumunta din naman ako sa industriya, mix din naman. Ang dami kong mga nakatrabahong atinista or taga-UP na magagaling talaga at matatalino. Pero meron din naman ako, to be honest, na mga nakatrabahong wale, ha? Can I just say? So, in the same way na, ang dami ko ding mga nakatrabaho na mga taga-FEU, mga taga-UE, 'di ba, mga Lyceum, kapitbahay namin sa Letran, ganyan. In other universities, meron from the provinces na very competent kasi iba din naman ang grit nila, precisely, and I could relate to that. Kasi parang yun nga, since you're not coming from the big four universities, you have to step up and make a good impression, 'di ba? So, nung pumasok ako sa industriya or sa workforce, eventually, nung umuupo na rin ako sa interviews ng mga job applicants, 'di ba, ng mga potential employees. To be honest, 'di ba, tinitingnan ko din anong school ganyan. Pero minsan pag nagsalita na, iba din naman, parang hindi porket ito yung school niya and you think na it's from the big four, pag nagsalita na ay parang wali. Pero meron din naman na Hindi naman from the Big Four pero ang galing. Meron din naman na hindi from the Big Four na hindi din nag-qualify dun sa job. So, wala siya sa school. 'Di ba? Cut the long story short, wala siya school. And yet, how true ba? Let's be honest. How true ba na malaking factor ang eskwelahan sa pag-apply at pag-qualify mo sa isang trabaho? Yung totoo.
From my experience.
Sige, me first. Kasi my experience from Badette is different. I work on a offshoring BPO company. So most of our clients are from offshores, from the US, Asian, mostly Australians. So kapag ganun ang client, on our profile or on how we recruit people, we don't. The clients doesn't really care which school are you coming from, as long as you have a very competitive work background. Because what we usually hire are those experienced already. If we do hire fresh grad, we still have them to undergo the recruitment process, the interview, kung may mga skill set exams. So I guess it depends on the employer, I guess, based on my experience. So depende siya sa employer, depende siya sa industry. Pag foreign clients like mine, they don't sometimes care. Pero what I see for the Filipinos naman or for the Filipino clients that I worked with before, they don't. So, but that has a different one for that.
Yun nga, kasi if I'm going to be very honest, from my experience, nagfa-factor yung education background. But because yung company or yung industry, merong nakaset na standard. So, it's different from yung experience ni Crystal kasi it deals with clients. Pero yung like with my present company kasi it adheres to a specific international standard. So, the directive is to hire applicants from or hire teachers or even staff from a specific university. So, kung experience ko pag-uusapan, nagmamatter siya. But in general kasi sa Philippines, medyo nagiging, paano ba? Parang nagiging makaluma na yung thinking na pag Big Four, automatic ganito sila sa workforce, automatic ganito yung attitude nila. Where in fact, it really depends on the person. Kasi, kung ako natatanungin, kahit nanggaling ka sa Big Four, if your attitude, if your behavior, if your skill do not match the company you're applying for, then you kind of expect na hindi ka talaga ma-hire. So, yun yung take ko. It matters, but for a specific company standard or industry standard. So, it happens, but not all the time.
Okay. Tsaka, can I just say, Badette and Dal, ano din well yun, in my experience, kunwari kung si Ateneo grad yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung si kid from Ateneo, yung sa tweet. Ako, personally, I've worked with young people from Ateneo. Okay? Mixed din. 'Di ba? Parang kasi baka naman din may judgment kapag Ateneo. Ay, pag Atenista, oo, matalino 'yan, magaling yan mag-English, pero may grit ba 'yan? May resilient ba 'yan? Or kasi may judgment na ang background baka pampered, 'di ba? Alam mo naman mga Pilipino panghusga. Pero oo, 'di ba? Pero ang dami ko din namang mga nakatrabahong, again, ayan, isa kong friend kanina nag-comment, sinang Patch is from Ateneo. Ang dami ko nakatrabahong bata or kaedad ko din, kasabayan ko, na while may mga na-witness ako na, pwede, medyo may ganong factor yung iba, pero ang dami ko din naman nakatrabaho ko na from Ateneo na alam kong mayaman, alam kong anak mayaman, or alam kong may kaya ang pamilya, di ba? Alam ko, kasi kaibigan ko But, grabe yung work ethic. Yes. 'Di ba? Parang ako nasa film industry din kasi ako aside sa media industry in general lang ginagalawan ko. So sa pelikula, yung mga working conditions na minsan difficult, like kunwari sa shooting, 'di ba? Yung mga pagod, yung mga locations na hindi naman ideal, like kunwari outdoors, 'di ba? Kunwari 'di ba? Yung mga ganung conditions, never ko silang narinig mag-inarte, pero konyo mag-English. Diba? Pero never mag-iinarte kung anong pagkain sa shooting, na sinerve sa catering, yun ang kakainin nila. Wala silang ano, di ba? And parang so iba-iba siya. And
Actually,
pero
I think
go.
we have to remove yung stereotype na when you came from a specific school, ganito yung attitude mo,
Yes.
ganito ka magtrabaho, ganito ka magsalita. Kasi in the actual workforce, lahat naman yan magbabago eh. So,
Yes.
mas important na you HR, for recruiters, for HR, you have to be very objective na hindi mo lang siya titingnan dun sa educational background niya. Titingnan mo yung skills na nakalagay, ano yung past trainings niya, past work experience. Kasi mas dun mo mag-gauge yung personality or yung behavior nga niya pag na-hire siya sa company niyo.
Yes. Okay. Sige. So, ito na lang. Okay. Baka may nanonood ng mga viewers natin ngayon. Nanonood ako ng PetsaDePeligro now at isa akong fresh grad na hindi Big Four. Okay, hindi ako Big Four, hindi ako Atenista, hindi ako Lasalista, hindi ako Tomasino, at hindi ako Scholar ng Bayan sa UP. So, paano nyo ako matutulungan if, for instance, sinabi ni Badette, inamin niya kasi, di ba, may mga industries or companies that would matter. Kunwari, yung kumpanyang yon na nagmamatter talaga na galing siyang Big Four. Pero gustong-gusto ko yung trabahong yon. Kunwari, I came from a non-Big Four school, a working class family, but I have a good command of the English language if that's what the job requires. I present well, I can carry myself well, 'di ba? I am qualified for that job. And yet I'm not from the Big Four, but I really really want that job. And yet ang reality, sabi mo nga, may mga ganon na parang hindi ka priority, or baka nga makita pa lang na non-Big Four ka, resume mo, i-dispatch siya na. Di ba, hindi ka na agad i-consider. Ano ang pwede nating tulong or advice na ibigay sa mga batang to, sa mga fresh grad na to? Kasi yun pa lang, sa totoo lang, fresh grad ako, yun pa lang may pagmamalaki ko eh. Educational background ko, kahit naman may internship. Di ba, parang wala pa akong work experience. Paano? Anong advice natin sa kanila?
Sige,
Badette, ikaw.
Actually, from kung ma-advise ko, it shouldn't stop you from aiming in applying for a good company. Lalo na kapag yun yung dream company mo. So, what can I advise is, make a good resume. Latag mo lahat of your skills, your trainings and all, and make an impressive cover letter or intent letter. So, if ever ma-invite ka for an interview, impress them in the interview. So, nasa interview process kasi it's a face-to-face interaction eh. So, doon lahat makikita ng HR recruiter na, okay, she is beyond yung sa educational background niya. She can actually perform the job well, pasok siya sa qualifications. So, make an impressive resume. And also, as I've mentioned earlier, huwag kang matakot mag-apply sa dream company mo or sa dream industry mo kahit na alam mong meron silang specific schools na tinatanggap. Kasi malay mo, yung HR na nag-hire sa company mo, hindi ganun yung thinking niya, di ba? So, just try. Try and try lang.
Oo. Tsaka, magandang, again, guys, kids, PetsaDePeligro, life hack yan, ganda nun ha. Write an impressive cover letter. So, akala natin dinededma, pero coming na from HR practitioners, they actually read it. Diba? And ako, personal advice ko sa cover letter, don't make it generic. Don't make it generic. Make it sincere. Ako, nung nagsusulat ako ng cover letter before, talagang alam kong gamit ko yung boses ko. Of course, yung formal na format siya, format-wise formal siya, but I would really parang wear my heart on my sleeve, so to speak, whenever I write a cover letter. Para it's an actual letter to show you that I want this job and I will do everything in my power to get that job. Naalala ko pa nga dati, sobrang gusto kong magpapansin nung bagito ako. Ang ginawa ko, yung resume ko, ginawa kong movie poster. Kasi inisip ko, in a sea of whites and blacks of resumes, pag nakita nila yung colored resume ko, ang title pa nung film poster is Totoy Bibo. Yun yung nalagay ko movie poster kasi inoon ko na parang feeling ko, ay, very bibo kasi ako nung nagsisimula ako. At the same time, tingin nila sa akin parang batang pinabili ng suka sa kanto ng nanay. Nung fresh grad ako na, I'm turning 30 right now. Kung I'm sure may mga iba na feeling nyo ang bata ako pa, no? I'm turning 30 sa November. Pero nung nagsisimula ako sa industriya, parang laging akala intern ako, high school, ganyan, anak ng empleyado. I got that all the time, but I owned it. Yung seemingly parang bagay na pwedeng maging liability ko, I turned it into an asset, 'di ba? So magpabibo lang kayo. Yun, 'di ba? Maganda 'yon. Maganda yung cover letter advice. How about you, Tala? Meron ka bang advice sa mga non-big four kids?
Yes, we are also not coming from a big four school. I guess one thing that just to add on Badette's inputs is you also have to research about the company that you wanted to apply for. Kasi everything now is available on internet. Before naman nung days natin, 'di ba? We don't have that mga forums, yung mga parang glass doors, 'di ba? There's a company review nowadays on LinkedIn, on Glassdoors, that you'll also see kung ano yung mga dating employees or the current employees view about that company, what that company values. Kasi if the interviewer knows na talagang interested ka and you're really confident that even though you're not from a big four company, big four school, nagpasa ka ng resume, you have to make sure that you stand out despite of the school that you're in. And big factor yun. And that's what employer wants, diba? Na you're very confident on what you do, than mag-hire sila ng galing nga sa Big Four pero they're just using the school itself.
The school, yeah.
Diba? Pero wala naman palang, diba? Wala naman palang substance. Kasi that's a two-way eh. Other people are just using that school. They know that they can have, parang kaya nila, they can afford to go to that school and they use it lang para, diba, makapasok. Pero in reality, may mga experiences tayo na hindi naman pala din sila ganun ka-caliber than what we are expected from them. Just
That's
be confident
right.
lang. Be confident and research not only for the company but also the role that you will be working on the future. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng tinuro sa school, diba, na-apply natin dun sa job na gusto natin. So,
actually, Tala and Badette, I feel nga na dapat siguro no sa mga schools, usually ang nagko-coordinate dati sa mga schools, 'di ba, yung guidance office. Sa mga potential employers, yung sa mga HR, yung mga guidance offices na nag-organize ng career fair. Siguro more than organizing these career fairs, baka it's best that they hold seminars kasi hindi naman siya kasama sa curriculum eh.
Actually, very important
diba,
yung skills enhancement.
Tinuturo itong mga binabanggit nyo na hindi natututunan sa libro. Baka pwede ding ituro doon yung hindi na, kasi ako, clueless ako, pag-graduate ko, di ba, magkano nga ba talaga ang asking? Di ba, wala kang idea. So,
and students need to take the school fair seriously. Kasi nung time namin, Badette and our classmates, so parang, dinadaanan lang namin. It's parang, free time, pwede tayong dumaan dyan, maghanap tayo ng mga brochure, di ba, mga ganun before. But if they really want that company and it goes to their school, they need to take that job fair seriously. Talk to the people there. Kasi usually mga recruiters yun, mga nagka-caravan. Mga HR folks yun. So, talk to them, ask them kung ano yung company culture. Marami. Sobrang dami nilang pwedeng itanong doon. And makaka-help yun sa kanila while they're on their senior years. Kasi usually senior years yan, di ba?
And tulad nga ng sinabi mo, maganda yung sinabi mo na another PdP life hack. Research, do your assignment or your homework prior to the interview. Kasi alam nyo, children, if you're watching, kung eventually kayo na ay gagraduate at sasama na kayo sa amin sa workforce, alam namin pag ang isang aplikante ay hindi handa at hindi talaga gusto to, yung nakita mo lang sa job street. Ganon. Obvious siya eh. Yes. Tapos parang may feeling ka na siya, parang pantawid gutom program. Ginagawa mong pantawid gutom program tong
yung parang
posisyon.
Yung parang malalaman mo magiging hopper lang siya. Yung gano'n.
Mapag-feel mo na agad.
But you also see those na talagang hungry. 'Di ba? Na I want this job and I will do whatever it takes to get it. Para naalala ko nung nag-apply ako dun sa isa kong nung sa dream job ko, sabi ko talaga, I will do this job even if you don't pay me for it. But you pay me for it, of course. Pero
Oh,
ang
no.
point ko is, 'di ba? This is something that I can do. I'm gonna do even if there's no money involved because ang point ko is I'm passionate about it, 'di ba? 'Yon. But of course, that's just parang we have to get paid. Yun ang pinag-uusapan natin sa PetsaDePeligro. You have to know your worth. You have to get paid properly. Okay. So, quick lang, Tala, hindi ko alam, ay tama, si Tala ata yung nagbanggit. Nabanggit nyo na may mga, ito, eye-opener to sa akin, may mga industries na hindi nagmamatter ang work experience. Kasi isa yan sa mga dilema ng fresh grad eh. 'Di ba? If si Ateneo grad and si non-Ateneo grad na breadwinner at lower middle class ay pinagbangga mo, tapos 37K ang offer, may privilege si Ateneo grad kung may kaya ang pamilya niya to turn it down and go to the next or ask tito or daddy about for a job na sa isang company, 'di ba, sa connections and networks na meron siya. But si breadwinner kid, 'di ba, na kailangan agad ng trabaho. Or kahit hindi nga breadwinner, lower middle class, kailangan talaga ng pera, 'di ba? Wala akong work experience. Tapos ayaw mo pa sa school ko. 'Di ba? O sige, confidence and stuff. Pero nabanggit nyo kasi there are industries na hindi nagmamatter yung work experience. 'Di ba? So baka importanteng malaman to ng fresh grads para din they can be able to be confident to ask for their salary, for their demand na salary, 'di ba? At nang walang takot na wala pa kasi akong work experience. Kasi ako nung nagsisimula ako ganyan, parang bawal kang maging choosy kasi wala ka pang work experience, tsaka ka na maging choosy. Pwede naman palang maging choosy. Ano ba yung mga industriya na yun, Tala?
Based on my experience, what's the high paying, not really high paying, but those industries that's not really looking for a specific work experience. It's for those who are on, like for example, mga software engineers, mga ganyan, yung mga anything that's related to tech, ITs. There's a lot of facets of IT, not only just the IT. There's network, there's graphics, there's back end. So yung mga ganong jobs kasi, as long as you have a good portfolio, and for me, working with foreign clients, since our labor cost is much lower than their country, pero mataas pa rin pag sa atin. Hindi pa rin siya minimum. And you can also ask for, yung parang ganito, yung ginawa ni Athenian Girl, because these kinds of industries, such as tech, and also the engineering part, more on kasi ito skills wise. So may mga assessment na ginagawa para matest yung skills mo even though you have lesser work experience. Mas more on output driven kasi ito It's more on the output yung mga jobs nila. So it doesn't really require them, or the clients doesn't really require like a 10 years experience before you have 100K salary. There are some times that we offer. There are offers na parang on 3 years, less than 5 years, pwede ka nang maka-receive ng 120 for a developer, mga ganyang rules.
Grabe
so also
naman
Grabe yung 120.
For the fresh grads, I'm not saying na siguro for general speaking, before you go to college pa lang, you really have to make sure that what you will take na course is something na alam mong gusto mo talaga mag-earn ba doon, or is it a passion, yung ganon. Wala kasi ata tayong ganon mga talk nung high school Nung high school ako, ang uso nun, nursing everyone's taking nursing, ganon.
Yeah.
So, yun yung, I think this is really something cultural din, diba? Sa culture natin, we are raised to earn money. So, we have to make sure na kahit anong pasukin natin work, mag-earn tayo. Unlike, I think, other culture perspective na. Other cultures, gusto nila maging businessmen, and so on. So, wala rin naman ata silang concept ng PetsaDePeligro. Pero yun, that's based on my experience.
Okay. Tsaka, ako personally, kahit gusto kong magkaroon ng 100K 6-digit salary below 3 to 5 years. Kung IT industry yan, hindi ko din naman kaya kasi Microsoft Excel nga, hindi ako marunong.
Same. When,
Di
when,
ba?
when I was given that view, parang sabi ko, parang mali yung nakuha kong kurso, pero na-realize ko, ay, hindi rin pala ako magaling sa math. At mahirap, it's something that also involves coding. Di ba? You code
Yes,
something
yes.
for that. Medyo
Ibang
mahirap
level.
siya. But that's fine. It's their worth. They're being paid for
Oo.
their worth. Diba?
Oo. So parang
Highly
ano to, para sa
specialized yun eh.
highly specialized, para sa mga geeks talaga to eh, no? So sa mga geeky fresh grads dyan, di ba?
yeah.
It doesn't really matter. At sabi pa ni Tala, these are foreign clients she's talking about.
Yes.
'Di ba? Foreign clients. So mas malaki talaga sila magbayad, 'di ba? So that's something na na parang worth learning tonight, no. Ano to? Any tips on how to pivot a table on Excel? Si Ali ba ito? Gusto niyo ba
Bali po.
magkaroon tayo ng Microsoft Masterclass dito sa Diyos ko,
Wala
wala
po kayo
akong
ng
pasensya
pinagtanungan.
sa writer lang po ako, Microsoft Word lang po ang function ng laptop ko, tsaka ito pang streaming. Minsan nga kinakain pa ako ng browser
Excel,
ko eh.
Oo.
Oh, okay, so ayan. So, pero kasi naiintindihan ko din na, 'di ba, ako personally, alam ko ang tuition fee ko kasi binibigay siya sa akin ng mom ko eh, 'di ba? Bi-withdraw siya ng mom ko, bibigay mo 'yung reg form, ikaw na as a young adult, ikaw na magbabayad sa registrar, 'di ba? Ay, sorry, sa finance. So naalala ko 'yun dahil sa sobrang kapal nung cash, ilalagay ko 'yun sa sa socks
Sisik
ko.
mo siya.
Para
Kasi
mas
syempre
hold up.
Oo, iwas hold up kasi syempre mag-jeep ka eh. O, di ba FEU ba kayo? Or FEU,
Oo.
ano schools
Yes.
nyo?
Moraita,
Oh,
FEU Moraita.
sa Moraita, Espanya area, ganyan. Ako sa may Intramuros. So, di ba, alam natin yung mga kalakaran ng na parang to be safe and to protect yourself. So, aware ako. Tuition fee ko pa lang yun per sem ha. Hindi pa kasama yung computation ng mga gaano kamahal yung mga projects namin doon dati sa communication arts na degree ko. So parang nakakapanghina naman talaga minsan pag ma-offeran ka ng, kunwari sabi kanina nung isa natin nag-comment ng batch na 8K.
Yeah.
8K ang starting niya. And she's from Ateneo ha, can I just say. So, nung nagsisimula siya, 8K, tinanggap mo. 'Di ba? Or ako noon, 12K, ganyan. And siguro quickly i-share ko na lang din dito. Mga alipin, ang aking lowest payslip na natanggap sa aking first job ever sa isang company ay 497 pesos. Would you believe?
Grabe.
'Di ba? Sa kapal ng cash na naisip ko talaga, nag-flashback talaga yung mga panahon na ako yung magbabayad ng tuition fee ko for my mother. 'Di ba? So parang bibigay ni mommy yung cash. Tapos ako napupunta sa school. And na-realize ko talaga, hindi nito mababawi pa yung, kailan mababawi nito yung, I mean, di ba kung investment ako, kung kukumputin ko yung naging investment sa akin, simula high school hanggang elementary hanggang college, di ba? Luging-lugi, di ba? So, pero that was, kasi, I will just explain, I was talent status ako nun. Pag sinabi mong talent status sa media, industry in general, at large, kahit saan ka pumunta sa media, para kang freelance, talent, di ba? Yun yung term na ginagamit, para kang freelancer kahit na hired ka. So parang nagbabayad ka ng tax pero wala kang benefits. So parang nun, per episode ang bayad. Per episode ang bayad sa amin nun. So nung nag-resign na ako, after 3 months lang yun nag-gather lang ako ng experience habang nakatenga, habang di pa sumasagot yung dream job ko. So dito ka muna kasi may immediate offer, sayang din naman, kumikita ka kahit papano. Tapos nag-condo pa ako nun with my college friends. So may house. So imagine mo, ang nagbayad pa ng condo rent ko was my mom. So imagine mo, pinagraduate ka na, tapos babayaran pa yung upa mo dahil syempre, alam niyo naman ang demand sa media, di ba? Parang yung puyat namin, yung pagod, ganyan. So, tapos yung 497 na yun kasi yung parang, dahil per episode lang ang bayad, hindi siya fix. So dahil siguro, naabutan ako ng cut-off ba? Siguro, so kinula ko, siguro nag-resign ako August 1, kunwari. Tapos, kikita pa siguro ako ng more kung umabot ako ng August 15. Kasi yung weekly episodes noon. Pero parang dahil August 1, hindi na, di ba? Ito na lang yung natira kasi yung katapusan na episode, yung August 30, July 30 episode na lang or July 18 episode na lang yung binayaran sa akin. But that was parang, di ba, I didn't have an idea about separation pays, di ba, parang ano ang karapatan ko as a talent, as a freelancer, whatnot, ganyan. So, di ba, parang mapapaisip din naman ako na, kung ako si Atinista, ganun kalaki malamang ang tawag dito, ang tuition fee ko, 'di ba? Parang talagang hindi naman katanggap-tanggap na tumanggap ng ganung salary. Pero again, paano kung hindi nga ako Atinista? I mean, kunwari mas maliit ang tuition fee ng school na pinanggalingan ko o baka nga state university ako galing. 'Di ba? So parang is it yung demand ba for an asking may kinalaman sa kung magkano ang tuition fee mo nung nag-aaral ka? Factor ba 'yon? Kumbaga kung produkto ka, bebenta mo yung sarili mo, how much yung worth nung ininvest sa education mo?
Nung nag-a-apply ako, nung fresh grad ako, actually hindi ko tiningnan eh. Actually hindi ko siya finactor in when I was asking for a lot of salary. Kasi at that time, I just want to have a job. Yun yung nasa isip ko eh. Around 2014, yun. So, makikita mo sa mga posts ng batchmates mo na na-hire na sila on that company. So, may pressure na sa'yo to actually land a job. So, yun yung nasa isip ko na, okay, sige, any industry, kaya kong i-take, any salary na I think is kaya ko mabuhay, I will accept. So, nung experience ko, hindi ko siya factor in. Pero then later on, nung marami na akong na-interview, marami na akong nakausap na applicant, coming from different schools, coming from no work experience, naisip ko na, dapat pala, tinake into consideration ko. Kasi, as I've mentioned, yung mga ibang university kasi, as I've mentioned, may mga industry talaga naghahanap from a specific school. So talagang yung standards na expected from that fresh grad is mataas. So yung nagiging asking salary nila, pinapasok nila yung tuition fee, yung skills na nakuha nila sa school, yung trainings, yung internship experience nila. So I think dapat now, yung panahon ngayon, dapat i-consider na siya. So, siguro lang din, as an applicant, kailangan mo din i-level yung expectations mo in giving an asking salary. So, baka mag-compute ka kung ang tuition fee mo is 100,000, baka mag-expect ka din ng 100,000. Siyempre, sa mga katotohanan, hindi naman possible yun. So, siguro 11 mo lang din ang expectation mo, but taking into consideration yung salary, yung tuition fees mo.
Oo. Kumbaga mga kapwa alipin, ang sinasabi lang din naman ni Badette is parang kung kaming mga fresh grad babalik nung unang panahon.
Oo.
Ako kasi kayo 2014 kayo, ako 2011 ako graduate. Kung babalik kami noon, baka tinama namin yung mali namin na tumanggap lang ng kahit na ano just because we're afraid na ma-reject, hindi mabigyan ng opportunity.
Yeah,
parang it's okay. Oo. So it's okay sa mga correct. Oo, ma-left out na wala kang work. So sa mga, if you're coming from a non-Big Four school and you think that your school is not as famous, diba? Or you know that you have a good work ethic and stuff like that, diba? You have you're competent. Siguro, magkaroon ka ng options. It's okay to have options. Walang masama, diba? Parang know your worth. Pinaghirapan mo yan, hindi nga lang pera eh. Pagod, puyat, oras, ang binuno mo sa pag-aaral. Diba? So, baka instead of and ako ito isa to sa mga na-realize ko na parang we should be able to learn to say no, 'di ba? And alam ko mahirap kasi again part ng Filipino culture na sige magtiis, 'di ba? Marami yung nagrereklamong mga tawagin na lang natin sa pangalang DDS out there na parang sinasabi, ano ba yan, reklamador. 'Di ba? Frowned upon ang pagrereklamo sa atin sa kultura. Pero totoo hindi. Dapat matuto tayong magreklamo at uminda. At parang umapela, rather than iniinda mo lang yung mga ano. Kasi ang na-realize ko, you will perpetuate the same culture 'Di ba? Kapag hindi ka nag-no. Kunwari, pag nag-yes, as long as may nag-yes sa isang hindi makatarungang salary, hindi matitigil ang wrong practice ng pag-o-offer ng mga employers ng mga pipitsuging sahod at benefits. 'Di ba? But when we are able to say no, hindi lang sarili mo ang tinutulungan mo, pati yung iba. 'Di ba? Nagtutulungan tayo. Kasi laging ganyan, parang ikaw kasi nag-yes ka eh. O, how can
Actually,
you
it's
expect,
also
'di ba?
it's also an awakening call sa partner employers kasi pag nakita nila na baka to lang nag-accept ng ino-offer namin. So, mapapaisip sila so nga, bakit? Meron bang problem sa ino-offer natin? Meron bang kailangan nating i-consider? Kailangan ba nating taasan siya? Or kailangan natin magdagdag ng benefits? So, very important din yun sa part ng employers, yung nagiging feedback sa kanila na walang tumatanggap nitong salary, maybe it's too low. So, kailangan natin
Tsaka
i-adjust.
baka red flag na rin yun, na
Yeah.
parang, umpisa pa lang nasa pintuan pa lang ako ng kumpanya nyo, ganyan na kayo magbayad ng mga empleyado nyo. So it says a lot about how yung culture of taking care of your employees, is that really something that you guys value? 'Di ba? So it's something to think about. Quick shout out lang sa ating reigning Miss Trans Global 2020. Tama. Ayan, hi ng Mela. She's watching right now. Ayan. So, okay. Sige. So, I think na-cover natin, nabanggit ang work experience, na may mga depende siya sa industriya, ang asking, di ba? May mga industries na ito lang naman talaga ang budget. Meron bonggang-bongga, ganyan. Pero sige, in general, tulungan natin ang ating mga kapwa-alipin, Badette at Tala, no? How do you know, ano ba talaga yung makatarungang salary? Ano yung, hindi natin kasi masasagot yung exact amount kasi nga iba-iba. Pero tulungan natin tong mga fresh grads na to, 'di ba? Ngayon, sagutin na natin with all those tweets, 'di ba, and issues about that tweet. Ano ba talaga? Paano ko ma-figure out as a fresh grad kung yung hinihingi ko ay too much or too less? 'Di ba? Paano?
Ang hirap.
Well, first, you have to search the market. You have to make sure that you know the market that you're in. If you're gonna be work on a Philippine market, if you're gonna be working on a foreign market, pero Philippine based. Kasi iba-iba yan eh. The industry here in the Philippines is very wide. Marami siyang branches, marami siyang, like me, I work on an offshore, naka-Philippine contract kayo, we're abiding the labor law here in the Philippines. However, your clients, you work directly with foreign customers. Siguro sa mga fresh grads, they have to know the market. They need to understand that na ang market kasi ngayon is ganito na. Tama yung si Ali, I think it's Ali earlier, they have to understand the inflation rate that we have here in the Philippines. They have to know what's the minimum wage ng isang Pilipino kasi baka mamaya ino-offeran pala sila ng mas mababa pa sa minimum wage. At least it should not be at least the minimum wage. And they also have to read their contract. They have to understand it. It's wordy, it's lengthy, but you need to have the time to read it. You ask your recruiters to, pag inofera na kayo ng trabaho, actually yun yung mga mali natin eh. Pag inofera tayo noon, pipirma na agad. No. You can always go back. You ask them, I'll have it read. If you have a friend, if you have a mentor, if you have a professor that can help you read the contract to consult, then do so. Kasi pag pinirmahan mo yan, matapang na si HR, wala ka nang pwedeng parang hindi ka na pwedeng pumalag pa. So yun yung siguro the best, or not really the best, the first thing that the fresh grad needs to understand. Diba? Know the market, you read your contract before signing it during the job offer, and express yourself, siguro. They have to learn how to negotiate as well. Negotiate is not parang a privilege based on the topic that we have. It should be something that they need to learn as well. Hindi siya tinuturo sa nung college tayo kasi hindi naman naturo sa atin yun nun. But they have to understand to themselves na they know their worth and they have to express it to their employers regardless kung fresh grad ka or matagal ka na sa industriya or nag-shift ka ng industriya. Diba? So, yun. And you have to be confident. Naniniwala ko doon eh. Yung sa delivery mo sa recruiter na, ba't kung binibenta ni recruiter yung kumpanya niya, ibenta mo rin yung sarili mo.
Sarili mo,
diba?
yes.
You have to be confident on how you lay out everything to them from your side na as an applicant.
Right. Ikaw, Badette?
Actually, medyo mahirap sagutin yung rightful salary.
Yes.
Kasi feeling ko, nag-iiba-iba siya from point of view eh. So, kung ako, baka ito lang yung rightful for me. O kay Crystal, iba yung rightful sa kanya. So, I think given na maraming available websites, YouTube videos na makakatulong sa'yo on doing the research about the company, on the industry, take time to do it. Kasi, I think yung ibang job ad, they post the salary range nung position. So if yung ina-advertise silang salary range is rightful for you, you might want to take a chance to apply in that company. Pero kung hindi, I mean, there are a lot of companies that can offer yung asking mong salary. And yeah, you negotiate. Kasi yun yung naging mistakes ng a lot of fresh grads on our time na tinanggap lang talaga. Eh what if yung tinanggap ko, hindi na siya kayang to sustain my lifestyle, for example. So hindi na siya rightful for me. So you really have to negotiate, take a lot of factors. Let's say if you're the breadwinner of the family, you support a sibling and all. So yun yung magiging factor for that rightful salary. So, marami siya. So, kung itatanungin, medyo mahirap siyang sagutin.
And even nowadays, diba, yung mga internet subscription, the PC that you will work it, it's already part of your package na kapag ba mag-i-invest ako ng bagong gamit for this job, kailangan ba naka-factor in siya sa salary ko?
Oo.
Tama.
Actually, ang ganda kasi parang if there's one thing I realized na, ngayon ko lang na-realize syempre is, even though you're applying for an employment, for instance, you're not an actual entrepreneur na meron kang sariling business, but parang it's important, or it's something that we can borrow from entrepreneurs is yung mindset nila. Diba? Have an entrepreneurial mindset that when think of yourself as an investment, as a business. Diba? Mamumuhunan ka sa sarili mo. Diba? So kung tama ka, ang puhunan ko ngayon, skill set ko, talino ko, galing ko, competence ko, grit ko. But at the same time, kailangan mo ding puhunanan yung sarili mo ng katulad nung sinabi ni Tala kanina, 'di ba? Kung work from home na 'yan, gagamit ka ng kuryente ng bahay nyo. Nakatipid ang kumpanya doon. Internet, 'di ba? So sa kanilang operational expenses, bawas 'yun. 'Di ba? Okay, so sige, hindi ka naman mamasahe, pero parang alam mo, even isama mo sa puhunan mo kung isa kang negosyo, ang sarili mo ay isang negosyo at you are the CEO of your own life, 'di ba? Is a part ng investment mo din. Even yung mga gusto mo i-add to cart sa Lazada. Dahil aminan, 'di ba? At sa Shopee, sa mga panahong during those trying times, of course, we're not encouraging na ubusin nyo po ang inyong mga sahod sa mga yan. Pero, di ba meron nga yung sinasabi nila, sorry for the term, medyo isa-censor natin. Meron ako napanood na isang YouTube video, ang in-advise nung CEO is have parang effed up fund. Di ba may emergency fund? Ito naman, fund for effing up. Meaning, pag mga moment of weaknesses, maglagay ka mag-open ka daw ng account para hindi mo nagagalaw yung savings mo. So parang pag gusto mong kumain ng masarap, gusto mong mag-Vikings mag-isa, di ba? Mag-buffet at samgyupsal mag-isa, gusto mong magbigla ang trip abroad, na sana magawa na natin soon, di ba? Doon ka uhugot. So parang part yun ng investment mo. Yun lang naman ang sinasabi natin, di ba? Invest on yourself. Kasi at the end of the day, hindi ka naman, di ba? Kapag nagtrabaho ka naman, you will back it up with, yun lang naman yan, negotiate ka. You will back it up with hard work, di ba? And babalik mo naman sa kanila yung true, perform ka naman eh. Di ba? Pero invest, di ba? Bayaran nyo ka ng tama. Di ba? Yun. So, okay. I think naman, we've learned a lot tonight. And, yung tweet na yon, sabi ko nga, ang sarap niyang pag-usapan kasi ang dami-daming layers and facets ng conversation, 'di ba? Na I think we covered it tonight, 'di ba? Parang ang daming actually I'm so excited sa mga succeeding episodes ng PetsaDePeligro kasi mababanggit talaga yung mga issues na hindi kunwari, ito yung issue pero minsan meron siyang layer ng generational thing, 'di ba? Parang pagkakaiba generation gap sa workforce, 'di ba? I think feeling ko medyo na-touch natin yun dito kasi 'di ba parang we feel like kapag nagne-negotiate ang isang fresh grad, we feel that this fresh grad is entitled, 'di ba? So parang kayo ano yung siguro yung last advice nyo sa ating mga fresh graduates or sa mga unemployed graduates, fresh graduates natin ngayon na struggling, 'di ba, na humanap ng trabaho ngayong pandemya or 'di ba or will just choose to settle for something na kahit parang hindi makatarungan ng sahod na yon or ng benefits na yon. Let's help them navigate this, especially these kids na wala ngang ganong privilege, 'di ba? Like the other kids, like the other fresh grads. Ano ang parting words niyo sa kanila?
Okay, ako. I guess kasi ako din, I resigned from my previous company in the middle of pandemic. I don't have that big emergency money back up on me na hindi ko rin naman sure kung kailan ako makakahanap ng work pa. Yun. But if there's one thing that I want to share for to the fresh grad is you always have to have that confidence when it comes to the interview process. Yun, parang sa akin kasi it what brings me to where I am now, right now, is the confidence na I know what I am talking about to my interviewer, 'di ba? Kasi marami tayong napag-aralan sa school. We know that when we applied for that company, we already have that skill. But on how we deliver it to them and how we're gonna sell ourselves to them, 'di ba? That is a whole different story. You have to be confident that you know that when you step on that, hindi na nga step sa office when you attend that Zoom meeting, interview with them, sa spark pa lang ng mata mo, sa how you pa lang umupo in front of the camera, the interviewer will already see how confident you are. And it's really a big plus factor to them. And like what I've mentioned earlier, you have to learn how to express yourself in a good way. You have to learn how to negotiate. You have also, by doing that, you have to know your worth as an employee already that's coming into the workforce. So, kasi the workforce is big marami tayong kalaban, marami tayong kalaban dyan na sobrang galing pa sa ibang bansa, nag-aral pa sa ganito, 2-3 language ang alam, tayo Tagalog, English lamang, diba? So yun, confidence for me is the key to success, and do not give up on it. And make sure lang siguro na you don't narrow yung hindi lang isang company yung titignan nyo. You also look on a different companies because you never know where you're gonna land. And hindi kasi wala kasi yan sa company 'di ba?
Yeah,
I guess you can agree with that. It's with the culture that you will learn from that company. And swerte talaga yung mga millennials or Gen Z ngayon kasi may mga glass door na pwede kayo magbasa ng feedback. Dati naman wala tayong ganun. Yun yung ano natin. Mabilis
Glassdoor
nilang
is ito yung
It's a UK base ata na nagpo-post ng reviews about a specific company.
Yes.
Even in LinkedIn, they have that. Yung mga company reviews.
So meron na yun dito sa Philippines kasi I've read that article sa The New Yorker. Akala ko sa ibang bansa lang na yun nga sa States kasi meron talagang ngang ganyan na parang you will go to the website, you will read feedback about the employers and the company to help out potential employees. Oh. So meron tayo yan, Glassdoor nga daw. Ayan. Guys, meron palang ganun. We can check that out.
And there's a lot of even local companies meron na doon dito sa Philippines. So they can easily read it. So yun yung ano ka sa kanila. And the confidence talaga. That's really what matters on a recruiter. Kasi face value pa lang 'di ba? Sa camera. Kita na.
Half of the battle talaga is selling yourself.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Badette?
Ako for fresh grad kasi syempre mahirap naman talaga maghanap ng work. Even now na yung mode is online, mahirap pa rin. So what can I advise is you try applying for a job kasi malay mo yung dream job mo, yung dream company mo, hindi ka pala doon mag-excel eh. Malay mo dito sa smaller company that offers a lot of trainings, a good benefits, doon ka pala mag-excel. Pero pinas mo yung opportunity to apply kasi you really wanted a good, itong top 100 companies na to. So try and try. In terms of salary expectations, I think you really have to reflect on your own muna kung ano ba yung rightful salary for me. Ano yung kailangan ko i-consider? Do I have to support nga my lifestyle? I have to support my sibling? Do I have to pay a lot of bills? So, you set a specific range kung ano yung rightful salary for you. And then, when the interview comes, ilatag mo siya, no, this is my salary expectations and I've researched na on this range din pala yung ina-offer nyo. So, doon magkakaroon ng discussion na, okay, this applicant pala is workable on this specific range of salary expectations. And I think that is a good thing. Also, kung medyo, struggling now to find a job, siguro you have to build your skill set din. Now na naka-stay at home tayo, maraming available online, YouTube, I don't know, baka nga sa TikTok nakakuha kayo ng skill sets eh. So, expose yourself na hindi lang puro leisure na nakukuha natin online. Marami kasing interviews, podcasts, maraming media na makakakuha ka ng input on how to ace that interview, on how to get your dream job. So, pag nakuha mo na yon, magiging mas confident ka to apply for your dream company, for your dream job, to ask for a salary na talagang masasabi mo na, okay, I'm contented with this kind of salary. So, yan lang. You try and try, build your skill set, and be confident. Kasi talaga, very important, especially now, yung mga, yung Zoom interviews lang. So, mahirap din i-gauge for an HR interview or yung talagang body language and all. Kasi parang face value lang yung nakikita and then the paper screening. So, pag doon pa lang bumagsak ka na, medyo mahirap na. So, be confident. Medyo mahirap siyang kuhanin ngayon given with the times of medyo ang ating mga mental health and all. Pero you really have to be confident.
Tsaka, ang interesting nung sinabi mo, Badette, na parang while temporarily, di ba, hanggat hindi wala pa yung job, wala pa tayong job, nasa bahay pa tayo, di ba, hindi pa natin alam. Ang dami nga namang, di ba, we live at the golden age of technology. Di ba? And social media, while it's antagonized sometimes because, di ba, minsan naman talaga nakakasama siya, pero marami din siya magagandang benefits. And I believe that social media or the internet is a neutral power. Di ba? Parang for me, ang lagi kong ang analogy sa social media or sa internet, sa technology, it's the elder one, sa mga Potterheads dyan. So it depends who holds the most powerful wand in the world. Is it Voldemort or is it Harry? So which one are you? Diba? Anong path ang iti-take mo? And I hope it's you become a Harry, diba? Who makes magic out of it. And use this time while you are waiting. Tama ka, may mga podcasts, YouTube videos, ang dami ko ding napapanood that would help you hone your skill set, diba? And diba, sabi nga nila, luck is preparation meeting the opportunity. Yun ang totoong luck. Ang luck hindi siya yung parang nabunot ka sa raffle ng universe. No, it's your preparation meeting the opportunity at the exact time. So, di ba? So, while you haven't had that opportunity yet, prepare. Do your homework. Practice sa camera, practice to a friend how to do, di ba? How to speak, di ba? Or you fake the confidence sometimes. Eventually, you realize you're confident after all, di ba? So, yun. Thank you so much, Badette and Tala. Ang dami ko natutunan. Ang dami nating napag-usapan for our first episode. And I hope that this is not going to be the last guesting ninyong dalawa. Yan. So, tulungan natin ang mga, hindi na mga fresh grads. So, tulungan natin yung mga hindi not so fresh na, like us, not so fresh grads. Mga binago na ng sistema at di ba? Mga aliping binago ng sistema. Mga alipin ng salapi. Ayan.
Yes.
Oo. So, thank you so much, Badette and Tala. Please stick around. Antayin nyo kami sa backstage, ha? And we're just gonna wrap this up. I'm just gonna wrap this up quickly, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 All right. Okay. Maraming salamat, Badette and Tala. And siguro to end our first episode tonight, ako personally ang pinakatumatak sa akin sa lahat ng conversations natin about this tweet, 'di ba? About that controversial tweet and about sa mga naging conversations natin with Badette and Tala is first the overused word of entitlement. Okay, so alam nyo, to be honest, when that um, Time magazine article, I don't know if you can remember that, siguro sometime 2014, 2015 na release, on that Time magazine article that says the me generation, and it was the article that labeled our generation as millennials. Wala pa nga Gen Z nun eh. And talagang grabe na oh, this is a millennial. Di ba title pa lang, the me generation, grabe sila, no? And the tawag dito, the boomers ganito daw. Ganito daw ang kanilang generation and stuff like that. Sabi ko, nung binabasa ko siya, I know it's Time magazine, but I was really offended. And grabe yung article na yun, talagang pina-photocopy, kinalat sa buong opisina nung dati kong pinagtrabahuan. And parang, basahin daw naming lahat. And I get na may mga truths behind that article. When I was reading it, may truth naman dun sa article. But at the same time, I felt judged and labeled, to be honest. And as a Filipino millennial, I don't think that the article represented or parang expressed the nuances of what it's like to be a millennial in a third world country. Iba naman ang pagiging millennial kapag nasa first world ka or nasa superpower country ka like the States, 'di ba? Or nasa Europe ka, 'di ba? Magkaiba 'yon. Ano yung pinupunto ko dito? Isa sa mga yung culture sana na tigilan na nating i-perpetuate is labeling generations. Our world is already divided with lots of there are Republicans and Democrats, DDS and Dilawan, and ngayon meron ng millennial, may Gen Z, may Gen X, may boomer, meron baka sa ilang kembot na lang after Gen Z may bago na naman. Na parang ako nga feeling ko growing up wala namang ganung level of labeling. Pero parang I would always remember what one of our mentors, the great and the famous screenwriter Ricky Lee, always tells us. Sinabi niya na parang there's no such thing as this is your generation, this is our generation. Lahat ng nabubuhay sa panahong to belongs to one generation because all of us as a single experience, lahat tayo magkakaisa at may common experience ngayon ng pag-fight nitong pandemya na to, 'di ba? So instead of dividing each other because of those labels, judging people, 'di ba, judging the tweet, the kid dun sa tweet na yon na defenseless na entitled, okay, ganito siya. Mga kabataan ngayon, tigilan natin yung conversation na yun. Episode 1 pa lang po ng PetsaDePeligro, sinasabi na po namin, tantanan na po natin. Sana sa mga susunod na episode, wag na siyang ma-discuss. Pero kapag marami pa rin po kayong mga boss na sinasabihan kayong entitled, isumbong nyo po dito sa PetsaDePeligro. Pero parang for me, being entitled, okay, to be honest, I've encountered a lot of young people, younger than me, who are entitled, or kaedad ko na entitled. Okay? They exist. Pero wag natin i-stereotype. And for me, entitlement, wala po siyang kinalaman sa kung anong generation ka nagbebelong. Kasi for me, boomers can also be entitled because they feel that just because they are longer, they've stayed longer already in this lifetime, they are entitled to label us. They are entitled to do these things to us because they have the upper hand, because they are the employers. They're still the bosses and we're still the aliping sa gigilids nga of our time. For now, hindi pa tayo 'di ba? Pero if you are watching right now, you're going to be a future boss, or if you're currently a boss right now, let's stop that conversation of entitlement. Okay? There are people who are entitled, but there are people who are not. Okay? And it's not a generational thing. It doesn't help. It divides us. Okay? And this issue of negotiating your salary and knowing your worth does not make you a bad person, does not make you entitled. Okay? It simply is knowing your worth. Alam ko, train tayong mga Pilipino na parang magtiis lang, maging pero we need to change that, okay? Otherwise, we're not gonna move forward. Okay? And doon sa mga nabasa ko sa newsfeed ko, Ewan ko kung nanonood sila o kung mapapanood nila to or kung may mga kakilala kayo na yan, yung mga back in the day, nung panahon namin ganito. Nung panahon namin, 8K salary, tiniis ko, 4K salary, tiniis ko. Tanungin din natin yung mga sarili natin. It was back in the day. Literal noon yun eh. Iba na ngayon. Nabanggit kanina ng isa sa mga nag-comment sa atin, si Ali, di ba? That inflation should be taken into consideration. Living condition should be taken into consideration. Hindi mo pwede ikumpara yung estado noon sa estado ngayon. 'Di ba? At hindi ibig sabihin na mas nagde-demand na ang mga kabataan ngayon, ang isang bagong empleyado, ang isang fresh grad, eh masamang tao yung bata na yun, 'di ba? Maybe it's actually yun nga, brave enough yung kid to fight for his right, something na hindi natin nagawa noong panahon natin back in the day. Back in the day, that statement is one of the most dangerous statements someone older could make. Kasi pag-isipan din natin, baka naman it's time to change that. 'Di ba? And we're not gonna move forward if we keep on doing all those things na it's all in the past. Okay? And maganda din yung nabanggit about negotiating. That's a skill set na hindi na ituro sa atin nung at least ng mga kaedad ko na oo nga, no? Importante knowing how to sell yourself and negotiate. Akala mo lang kasi when you're competent on paper or sa exam, kala mo enough yun. Pero sinasabi nga nila Badette and ni Tala kanina na parang iba yung impression and performance when you're actually talking to someone, 'di ba? To a recruiter or a potential boss, 'di ba? Performance 'yun eh. 'Di ba? Ibebenta mo 'yung sarili mo. Maybe that is something that you guys can learn from this first episode. Napaka-insightful for you to be able to negotiate that yourself and sell yourself. And again, there's nothing wrong with negotiating. There's nothing wrong with saying that I want this, I think I deserve this, 'di ba? With the right amount of research and guidance and facts, 'di ba? Diyos ko, may internet, pwedeng-pwede tayong mag-research, marami pong mga access sa information kung paano natin malalaman ano ang nararapat na salary para sa atin at kung ano at benefits. Maraming access na tayo dyan. Let's take advantage of that. 'Di ba? Back up with the right information, you can be able to negotiate your worth. You're not just negotiating your salary. It's your worth you're talking about. And ako for me, maybe it's also a way of honoring your parents or your guardians or the people that brought you there. 'Di ba? Yung nag-invest ng pera at time ng mga magulang natin para makatapos ka. For you to be able to demand that to a recruiter or to a potential boss na no, this is what you should pay me. Ang underlying layer nun is you are honoring your parents for doing so. Kasi sinasabi mo na ito ang investment sa akin ng mga magulang ko. Ganito nila ako pinahalagahan. Pahalagahan mo din ako that way. 'Di ba? And lastly, I would want everyone listening right now na ang issue kasi natin, 'di ba, is ito nga parang when is it right to say yes and to say no to something? To a salary, to a job, to an offer. For me, it's very important to say yes to life. Okay, that's very, very important. But when I was siguro in my mid-20s or parang almost a decade na of my experience as a young professional, I also learned a lot about saying no, the importance of saying no. To quote my idol, Shonda Rhimes, no is a complete sentence. Know when to say yes, but saying no does not make you a bad person. And it's not easy. For me, I'm still learning it. We're so afraid to say no to a certain kind of salary just because baka hindi na ako mabigyan ng opportunity, baka magkaroon ako ng bad rep. But for me, the people that understands yung pagsisay mo ng no, those are the people who are rooting for you and who value you. 'Di ba? But yung mga taong may problem of you saying no, judging you, because you're saying no, maybe they don't deserve to be in your life anyway. Maybe they are not the right employer for you. Maybe they are not the right boss for you. Kasi instead of seeing you as someone who knows your worth, they judged you. So red flag na yun, di ba? And saying no to things has actually led me to better opportunities. Pag nagno-no ako sa isang bagay, may isa ko napatunayan na as long as yung no ko is in alignment siya with my values, prinsipyo ko sa life, in alignment siya sa intentions ng puso ko, at idinadasal ko yung no na yun, it will lead me to better opportunities. So do not be afraid. Hindi ka mauubusan ng opportunities as long as yung no mo and yung yes mo and every choice you make is in alignment with your values and your principles. Okay. So thank you guys. I hope that you learned a lot from our first episode dito sa Petsa de Peligro. Siguro quickly, I will just flash some of the comments ng ating mga viewers. Ayan. So si Mommy, hindi daw siya fresh grad but I learned a lot. Ayan, si Mommy is a boomer and she's also a boss. So sana marami siya natutunan na insights from young people dito sa ating show. Ayan, thank you so much, Cecil Garcia. Thank you po for watching. And Nong Jumar, thank you ng Jancy, Miss Carol, and Miss Badette. Thank you so much for watching. Ria, thank you so much. And Danny, hi! Maraming salamat. The winner ang first episode, learned a lot. Ayan, my best friend from Manchester, UK, who's watching right now. Hi. Very true, hindi pwede yung tiis-tiis lang kasi there will be no change kung lahat tayo magtitiis lang. This is an insight coming from a Filipina who worked in the Middle East and in Manchester. Monique worked in those two countries and iba ang galawan din doon. Talaga matututo ka makipag-negotiate. Si Tita Ayen, hi Tita Ayen, who's also an HR ang day job ay HR and recruiter, ayan, even when moving to another company, you should be at least negotiating for 30% increase in what you're getting now just to make it worth it. O ibang insight pa to, it's about ano naman, asking for a raise. 'Di ba? Maybe could have that episode actually. Tita Ayan, mag-guest ka. And thank you for watching. Ayan, so another insight from Luis Monique, negotiating is a totally different game. Yes, given yung talent and skills, pero kahit na nakakahiya, minsan you have to let the employers know your value. Don't be shy about it kasi there's nothing wrong with that. And but maybe negotiating takes practice as with anything, di ba? So, practice lang. Minsan small steps, try mo na mag-no sa mga maliliit na bagay. And eventually, palaki ng palaki, di ba? Ayan. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I hope that sa susunod na Petsa de Peligro ay magkita-kita po tayo ulit. Hindi ko masasabi kung Thursday or Monday or Tuesday yung tatapat, but Petsa de Peligro streams worldwide every 10 p.m. Manila time. So kung ano man po ang katumbas na sa time zone nyo po, mga kababayan sa ibang bansa, yon 10 p.m. po Manila time, ibang gana lang po natin ang pag-stream namin dito sa Petsa de Peligro. Again, this is brought to you by Hiraya Media and Story Slayers. So again, just reminding everyone to please subscribe on our YouTube channel, Hiraya Media, and follow us on our social media accounts. So it's on Facebook, it's at Media Hiraya. On Instagram and Twitter, it's Hiraya_media. And of course, visit our website para sa mga mas marami pa pong insightful na kwento tungkol sa ating mga Pilipino, particularly sa mga Filipino youth, sa www.hirayamedia.com at samahan nyo kami to continue challenging and amplifying the Filipino narrative. And a quick plug lang po para check this article, this particular article, The Case of Lazy Leadership. This was the article that my good friend Charis Bayona wrote nung January to na-publish. And but it's still very relevant right now. This is a very special and extensive and comprehensive report on the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic sa corporate culture. Alam naman natin lahat tayo ngayon mostly ay naka-work from home, 'di ba? So ito, the case of lazy leadership, 'di ba? Parang nakaka-entice. Oh, lazy leadership, what's that? But we talked about yung epekto ng pandemya sa ating sa workforce, 'di ba? So marami diyang na-interview sa mga kung paano nalabas yung mga flaws ng corporate culture further, mga Zoom meetings na hours nagtatagal and all, and how does it affect the mental health of employees? Maybe we could have an episode about that too. And a lot of things. Nag-interview din naman kami ng mga employers na quickly na nakapag-transition into the new normal, and kudos to them. Pero meron ding mga so improve po tayo, no, mga kababayan. Maraming salamat, everyone. Thank you for watching Petsa de Peligro and have a great night. Good night, everybody, and good morning to our kababayans overseas. God bless you all. See you next Petsa de Peligro.